No gimmicks, no stripped-down compromises, a real car, ready for the road and priced to destroy everything in its path. Electric vehicles have been treated as status symbols, not solutions. They are too expensive, too niche, and often more hype than reality. But seemingly overnight, this announcement changed everything, and the shockwaves are already hitting hard. So how did Toyota pull this off? Why is Tesla scrambling? And is this the beginning of the end for gas-powered vehicles? Stay with me, because by the time this is over you'll understand why this isn't just about cars, it's about who controls the future. And right now that future is slipping away from Elon Musk. The budget beast that shattered Tesla, Toyota, the same brand that built its reputation on quiet dependability, just threw the loudest punch in the history of electric vehicles. And it did it with something no one expected: performance. Real, honest, head-turning performance from a car that costs less than a set of luxury rims on a Tesla Model S. The new electric sport utility vehicle Toyota has unleashed onto the world is not some slow-moving city crawler. It accelerates like it has something to prove, and the truth is it does. In a market dominated by high-performance showmanship, Toyota's budget electric vehicle isn't trying to win drag races, but it doesn't need to. Because what it offers is more valuable than blistering 0 to 60 speeds. It delivers a confident, responsive drive that makes commuting feel less like a chore and more like a choice. Torque hits instantly. There's no lag, no awkward gear hunting, no engine noise trying to mask mechanical fatigue. This thing is smooth. When you press the pedal, it moves like it knows exactly what you want, and it gives it to you. It's not just quiet, it's calm. No clunky acceleration, no delay, just motion. That's what most people misunderstand about electric vehicles. It's not always about speed, it's about feel, and this one feels good. For everyday drivers, this is a game changer because, for the first time, the phrase daily driver doesn't mean giving up joy behind the wheel. Toyota's electric vehicle proves that you don't need a six-figure budget to get an experience that feels, well, alive. It's not some stripped-down appliance on wheels, it's a machine that wants to move. And that range anxiety everyone talks about? Toyota has built in the kind of reliability that lets you stop thinking about the battery and start thinking about your next destination. This isn't theoretical, it's real. You can drive to work, run errands, take the kids to school, and still have range to spare, all without needing a supercharger map. It's bold, it's efficient, and it's ready. This isn't just cheap, it's quick, confident, and capable enough to make Tesla nervous. But that's just what happens when you step on the pedal. The real surprise starts when you open the door. The interior that feels like a Lexus. Here's what no one expected. This EV doesn't just feel comfortable, it feels expensive. You slide into the driver's seat and stop, not because something's wrong, but because something's so right. The interior looks like it came from a car 3 price brackets above. This isn't a nice for the price situation, this is nice, full stop. Front and center is a 14-inch touchscreen that, honestly, just dominates the dashboard like a centerpiece in a modern home. It's fast, it's fluid, and it's as easy to use as a smartphone. Touch controls don't lag, menus make sense. This is not some cheap knockoff software jammed into an entry-level car. It feels built-in, thoughtful, purposeful. Then there's the 8-inch digital instrument cluster. It doesn't just show you your speed, it tells a story. Every animation, every dial, every battery update feels like it was designed by someone who actually drives cars, not just someone who draws them. But it's not just screens. Toyota clearly understood that drivers don't just want tech, they want comfort. Rear air vents keep passengers happy in the back. Multiple USB-C charging ports let every rider stay connected, and there's a wireless charging pad up front. A foldable center armrest. Even the materials on the door panels feel soft to the touch. Not hard plastic like you'd expect in this segment. And then there's the lighting. 32 ambient colors. 32. That's not just a gimmick, it's a mood. You can set the cabin to match your playlist, your outfit, or your attitude. It feels high-end because it is. This is what entry-level luxury used to feel like before car makers started stripping out features just to hit a price point. Toyota didn't cut corners. They found new ways to build value into every panel, every button, every surface. You get road presence without the road rage. It's got a stance that looks more expensive than it is, with body lines that curve and cut in all the right places. This isn't one of those for the price it looks okay designs. This is clean, modern, and head-turning, especially when someone finds out what it costs. This thing pulls up to the school drop-off line or the office parking lot and blends in with cars that cost double, sometimes triple, but you'll know. And that's the fun part. It's not just about function, it's about pride. this car turns heads in the parking lot. We poured over specs, design sheets, and driver impressions to cut through the hype and show you why this EV isn't just affordable, it's disruptive. Now you know what Tesla didn't see coming. If that saved you hours of digging, hit subscribe and ride with us. But the real magic isn't what you can see, it's what you can't. Underneath this car is a platform designed to crush the competition, the invisible weapon, Toyota's platform masterstroke. While everyone else was racing, Toyota was reloading, and now they fired the first shot. It's easy to get swept up in the headlines: 14-inch touchscreen, 8-inch digital display, advanced safety systems, a price tag that seems like science fiction. But all of that, every feature, every number, every inch of this new electric sport utility vehicle sits on top of something most people never see. It's not just the car that makes this story historic. It's the platform, the strategy, the system underneath it all. This wasn't luck, this was precision. And it all started with a quiet handshake between Toyota and a Chinese powerhouse called Guanghu Automobile Group, better known in China as GAC. On its own, GAC is one of the fastest-moving, most cost-efficient car makers in the Chinese domestic market. But combined with Toyota's legendary standards, that changes the game entirely. Toyota didn't partner with GAC to survive. They partnered to scale, to build a car that didn't just compete with Tesla or Volkswagen, but crushed them on volume, cost, and practicality. This partnership gives Toyota something most of its rivals don't have: instant access to a mature, low-cost EV manufacturing ecosystem. GAC knows how to build electric vehicles for price-sensitive buyers. Toyota knows how to build them to last. Together, they can build faster, cheaper, and smarter than anyone else in the industry. But this isn't just about who they partnered with, it's about what they built. Toyota made one of the boldest moves in modern electric vehicle history when it walked away from traditional lithium-ion batteries in favor of lithium iron phosphate chemistry. LFP batteries don't win drag races, they're not the poster child of electric performance, but they do something far more important. They deliver safe, reliable power at a fraction of the cost. No nickel, no cobalt, no geopolitical supply risk, just stable, abundant materials that can be mass-produced by the millions. The shift to LFP is why Toyota can price its new EV so low without sacrificing long-term durability. These batteries last longer, degrade slower, and cost less to maintain. For the everyday driver, that means fewer trips to the service center, lower ownership costs, and a longer-lasting vehicle overall. It's not the flashiest decision, but it might be the smartest. And then there's the final piece of the puzzle: manufacturing. Toyota didn't just stumble into efficient production, it invented it. The company's just-in-time manufacturing system, pioneered all the way back in the 1970s, is still the gold standard for lean, waste-free vehicle assembly. It means every single bolt, panel, and cable arrives exactly when it's needed. No piles of unused inventory, no bloated storage, just razor-sharp logistics that have been fine-tuned over nearly 50 years. Now imagine that system applied to electric vehicle production on a global scale. While Tesla is still working through factory bottlenecks and Ford is overhauling old assembly lines, Toyota already has the machine in place. Dozens of plants around the world operating with surgical precision, ready to produce these new vehicles at scale. Not just for China, not just for Japan, but for the entire world. And because Toyota controls such a massive supply chain from raw materials to final assembly, it doesn't have to pass on cost increases to the customer. It can absorb shocks, it can adjust faster, and it can do what most startups and legacy automakers can't: deliver consistency. They didn't build this to make headlines, they built it to win. And that's what makes this platform so dangerous to every competitor in the EV space. It's not flashy, it's not overhyped, it's efficient, stable, ruthless in its precision. This isn't a car, it's a strategy, a long-term, patient, carefully orchestrated plan to take over the market from the bottom up. And it just flipped the EV chessboard. But the boldest part of that strategy, it's not the tech, it's the price, the number that terrifies the entire industry: $13,000. That's not a typo, it's a declaration of war. Forget everything you thought you knew about the price of going electric, because this isn't a discount, it's not a government rebate, it's not a short-term lease gimmick. This is the sticker price. Toyota is selling a fully featured, full-sized electric sport utility vehicle for less than the cost of a 10-year-old used truck, and the impact of that number is more disruptive than any touchscreen or battery chemistry ever could be. Let's look at the math. The Tesla Model Y will set you back more than $43,000, Volkswagen's ID.4 around $38,000. Hyundai's budget entry, the Kona Electric, hovers around $34,000. Toyota just slashed those numbers in half and then some. This isn't just undercutting the competition, it's flipping the table. For decades, electric vehicles were sold as a luxury, something you'd aspire to, something shiny, sleek, and wildly expensive. But Toyota isn't playing that game. They're not trying to be a status symbol, they're trying to be a solution, a mainstream everyday vehicle that anyone, even a first-time car buyer, can afford. This one price point puts pressure on everything. Government incentives are now irrelevant in some markets. If your EV is already cheaper than a gas-powered car, what are you subsidizing? Dealership markups? Good luck explaining that to customers when Toyota rolls out a $13,000 SUV with zero fluff. Competitor margins? Crushed. Tesla and Volkswagen built their EV strategies around strong profits per unit. This pricing model tears that apart, and it does more than just stress corporate strategy, it changes consumer psychology. People who were on the fence waiting for the right moment to go electric just got their answer. The someday EV dream? It's here, and it's affordable. Not because the tech got cheaper, but because Toyota got smarter. For families looking to cut gas costs, for young professionals priced out of the traditional EV market, for fleet operators managing razor-thin budgets, this number unlocks electric mobility on a mass scale. It's not a luxury. It's not even a compromise. It's the new normal. The number isn't just low, it's loud, and the whole world just heard it. But there's one thing Toyota couldn't price its way around. One looming obstacle that no platform, no battery, no brilliant partnership can fully solve. What could stop this car cold? There's just one problem, and it's not the car. It's the world around it. Let's be honest, you can build the best electric vehicle on Earth. You can make it fast, comfortable, safe, and affordable, but if the world isn't ready for it, you've still got a problem. Infrastructure remains the elephant in the room. In dense urban centers, sure, chargers are becoming common, shopping malls, office buildings, gas stations, they're adapting. But in rural towns, in older neighborhoods, in places where electricity isn't even stable, charging stations are few and far between. And for millions of drivers, that makes EVs feel risky. The car may be ready, but the roads aren't. And then there's range anxiety. Even if this vehicle delivers solid real-world range, the psychological fear of getting stranded is still real, especially for first-time EV buyers. Gas cars offer a sense of familiarity, fill up and go. Electric vehicles ask you to rethink your habits, to plan charging stops, to trust a new system. That kind of transition takes more than just a low sticker price. It takes time, education, and real-world support. And what happens if Toyota succeeds too fast? What if demand surges beyond expectations? We've seen this before, massive interest, followed by production delays, delivery chaos, and customer frustration. Toyota is well equipped to scale, but even the most efficient system has limits. A global rollout of this scale could stress factories, suppliers, and dealerships alike. Then come the geopolitical risks. Most of the vehicle's supply chain, including its key battery components, flows through China. As global tensions rise and trade policies shift, the threat of tariffs, sanctions, or regulatory crackdowns could hit hard. If a diplomatic fallout disrupts raw material access or manufacturing agreements, Toyota's cost advantage could vanish overnight. And let's not forget the after-sales network. Servicing a new EV requires trained technicians, specific tools, and reliable parts access. If Toyota can't rapidly equip its service centers around the world to handle this new wave of electric customers, the experience could sour quickly. It's like giving everyone a smartphone, but no cell towers. The product itself may be brilliant, but if the environment isn't ready, people won't adopt. Even the best machine can fail if the world isn't ready for it. BYD doesn't have to protect an old business model. It doesn't have to appease old investors or cling to legacy dealerships. It's building an empire from scratch, and it's doing it on its own terms. So while Toyota races to scale and Tesla struggles to redefine itself, BYD is patiently waiting for its moment, and that moment is coming. This is only the beginning. The real story is just getting started.